Hi, I'm Lucy Edwards with Best Agent Today, and here we are, day 2 at Inman Connect NYC, and my guest is Victor Lund. How are you, Victor?
Lucy, great. It's wonderful to be here with you. We've seen each other so many times at this wonderful conference.
And
How
many
exciting.
others. Exactly,
Absolutely.
exactly. So, Victor, just a few words about yourself and your great company.
Sure. So we run RE Technology, which is our publishing company, and we also run WAV Group, which is our decades old consulting firm. We work with MLSs and associations, real estate brokers, and the tech companies that support them.
And you have been in real estate for over 25 years, as I found out yesterday at the conference.
Yes, they did a little keep your hand raised if you've been in.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think my first Inman conference might have been 1999, something
Well,
like that. 2000.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Great success story. I would like to pick your brain on what would you recommend to an agent how they can double their business, especially in today's very competitive environment.
Sure. I mean, we've seen real estate agents become very transaction focused over the last 10 years. So they're kind of following the lead generation to lead close funnel, and then they divorce their client and they leave them. And so one of the things that we really are making changes with today is providing technology resources that allow them to maintain client relationships for life. One example of that is like home ownership portals. So, if you are a parent, you have an education portal for a student. If you have a doctor, you have a healthcare portal, but there's no portal for the home. So we're doing a lot of investing in technology solutions like Homeowner AI, Move Guru, and other companies that are really looking at client for life strategies on how to have a relevant, important relationship with your client after the sale and on to the next sale. So a lot of agents have a lot of contacts in their database. They're not nurturing them in any meaningful way. But if you can deliver them a solution that tracks the maintenance in their home, allows them to curate the home service providers that are doing the repairs. I mean, just imagine getting a book, if you will, or a digital book that sort of outlines like who your plumbers are, who your electricians are, who your real estate agent is. If you ever have a question, you need a roofer or a lot guy, nobody knows that more than a real estate agent.
That is true.
They know the property. So I think really like building and managing a database and deepening the relationships with the people you know is really going to power your business much more profoundly than any kind of online ad spend.
I totally agree with you. And I think that the realtor is a go-to person. The realtor is a liaison between the sellers and the buyers and the community. So that is important for everyone to have the right realtor in their database also to reach out.
Yeah, it's all about building your database.
So what about brokerages? What would you say the brokerages are not doing for their agents, but they should? How they should invest in their relationship with agents and help them grow their business?
Well, we've long been a believer that the most important element for recruiting and retaining agents is your company culture, which is the amount of time, meaningful time that you spend with agents. And we still believe in that. Some of the things that brokerages are doing today to really tap into this remarkable transformation that's happening with agentic AI and generative AI is they're building out infrastructure that allows an agent's AI to connect to listings, to connect to customers, and connect to the services that they do. And an example would be, hey, Lucy's interested in this property. So here's the address on Main Street. Please build a CMA for Lucy and send it to her. Well, what has to happen? So first, the AI needs to understand what the request was. Then it needs to go into my contact database, find the information for Lucy. It needs to be able to go into the listing database and find all the listing information and all the competitive information for the CMA. It needs to bundle it up. It needs to make it look good and on brand. And then it needs to connect to email and send it. So that's called agentic AI. And that's what we see brokers building today. And we think that you're going to see this widespread by the end of 2026.
So, yeah, I would encourage brokerages to really invest in their agent success as soon as possible, because 2026 is not going to be a very easy year. So they need to get started immediately. I think Inman will really help with something like that also. And my last question is about brand. What would you say for agents how they can leverage their company's brand, and if their company is a small brokerage and not as popular and famous as others, how they can leverage their brand to increase their business.
So there's some fundamental things that you need to do to develop your brand. We're in an online economy now. We're moving from search engine optimization or SEO to agentic optimization, AEO, answer engine optimization, or generative engine optimization. So we always start with the agent bio. So you have to have a really good biography that allows you to be found online. Additionally, if you have your own brand, like you have a logo or something like that, you need to have those things and they need to be communicated. We think that agents should have their own style guide for their brand. What's your font? What are your colors? How do they blend with the broker's marketing? And all of that not only needs to be visible in all of your online presence and social media, but it also needs to be like layered into the tools and applications that you use in your business. So if you're using Canva, for example, all your Canva templates need to be updated with the information about your brand, your value proposition, and your expertise.
I totally agree with you. Actually, at Best Agent today, we are also strong believer in preparing a good profile page, because that's what everyone is looking at. It has to be up to date. It has to have all current links and information and social media, and it has to be updated. Unfortunately, not all the agents are doing it, and they should be educated even more by their brokerage and their marketing department and by people like you, Victor.
Well, we can only give the idea. I mean, it is February. You should have done your brand reset in January, but it's not too late. We're not into the spring selling season. So if you haven't refreshed your brand as a real estate agent, team, or brokerage, get on it today. And we always love Lucy and everything that she does. So she can help you out if you need some help.
Thank you so much. Cheers, everybody.